That is the sound of the jar of names. She'll pick out a name. This video is for everyone, including but not excluded to Overlord Master. And if you want to get your name in that jar of names, you have to comment at least on 2 videos on Cup of Adventure videos. Right, so let's begin. This is the Cup of Tea in a podcast. This is the cup of tea. And this is the podcast. So if you want to go down to my comments, it might not be there just yet, but you can find a skip list later on where you can skip to this week's update, this week's topic, this week's question, and this week's goals. Update is first then. So this little podcast is only going to be from like the first 4 videos, since the last podcast, so the podcast 2 Dishonored videos and the first Prince of Persia one that we had, because, like I said, my goal is to get caught up, and that's basically what the update is all about, really. My goal in the last podcast was, by the end of the Friday, which was the 10th, was to have 2.5 weeks videos completely edited. Maybe not uploaded, but edited. That is actually going alright so far. It is technically the 7th when I'm recording this. It is like 2 o'clock in the morning, but it's still the 7th for me. And at this point in time, I have 1.5 videos edited, which means I'm well on track to completing it. So I've got my little plan. This podcast is the last thing that I need to do today, and then I'm done. And then tomorrow I need to edit a full week's worth of videos. So hopefully I should complete the goal by the end of Wednesday, which is hopefully what's going to happen. But it's going well. I think overall it'll be next week we'll be back to schedule, just judging from my list of things to do. But I'll talk about that in the goals. So let's now go on to the updates. Let's talk about this week's names then, shall we? Right, so let's get it open with. Here we go then. So we've got the podcast right now. That's what you're listening to. That's this. Then after this we'll have a Dishonored video called Supply Drop. This is basically I go back to the Hound's Pits pub, so I get like supplies, supply drop, say is how it is. And then after that we'll have a Prince of Persia: The Two Thrones one called Beauty and the Beast. Guess who's the Beast? And the love interest has entered the fray. Or the no, I was going to say something about Farah then, but it doesn't really work, so no, never mind. And then on after that, you got Dishonored video called Tall Glass of Water, which I think is where I try and climb up a certain water gate in Dishonored. I think that's why I called it that. And then after that, we've got a Prince of Persia: The Two Thrones video called Box Trolls. I think it's because we take out a troll? Or something that looks like a big troll? I'm not sure, but there is a box that we move around. Can't remember why it's called Trolls, but oh well. And then after that, we've got a Dishonored video called House of Fun, because I'm pretty sure that this level that I'm playing is not going to be fun at all. It's kind of ironic. And then after that will also be a pointing episode of Dishonored called Parties and Paranoia, because it's where we're playing at the party, and it's also playing on the paranoia of our next target. Anyway, that's that. So, let's go on to the community section now then. Very, very small community section this week. Like I said, only 4 videos in total where I've got these collections from, and only about 2 days worth of days of people commenting on them. So it's very quick and not many names, but we're getting it all done quickly, which is why it's not so bad. So, Mention Monday. These are the people that commented on the last few videos. Like I said, remember, just so you know, if you're not in this one, it's because I haven't taken it from many videos. So there's only 3 this week. But we've got Spudley Dudley, Max Ravage, and Horia. So welcome to you. Well done to you 3 for being quick off the draw and when commenting very, very quickly. And I apologise to those who are not in it. Q&A. We have no Q&A because, like I said, 4 videos. But it's good because that means we're getting back on track very soon. Good. All right then, let's now go on to subscribers. Last podcast, we were at 1,285. 3 days ago. Now we're at 1,281. We've gone down 4 names, but we haven't seen any new names join in the community. So I'm thinking it's probably because YouTube mucked up and it wasn't actually 4 new people. So now it's just realising it's taken them off again. We don't know. Maybe they did unsubscribe. If they did, sorry to see you go. Okay, now question. Last week's question was who's still playing Pokemon Go? Max Ravage says he had to delete Pokemon Go because he needed more space for other things, which is understandable, but also very, very true. It does take a lot of space. Where am I doing with Pokemon Go? I'm using this app from Tutu app, where you can like skip ahead, and there's also this PokeSnipe app which tells you where certain Pokemon are. You type in the coordinates, you fire them away. You can click on the Pokemon, then you have to go back to your home base, and then you can catch it. Otherwise, it syncs the data and then realizes you've travelled too far, so it blocks you for 4 hours. So yeah, that's what I've been doing, and I've managed to get 125 Bulbasaur candies, so I can now get my Ivysaur and my Venusaur, but I'm saving that until I get enough Pokemon to evolve with a Lucky Egg on, so that'll get mucho XP. So that's the plan. I'm working on getting some Squirtle candies and some Charmander's candies. I have 69 Charmander candies. I only need 100 because I've already got a Charmeleon. And I've got 86 Squirtle candies. And I've also got enough to get an Arbok, which I need, a Sandslash, which I need, and I also need some more Pikachu candies so I can evolve the Pokemon Day Pikachu with the party hat. So I can get the Pokemon Day Raichu party hat, because that's how it works. But yeah, this week's question is something more about something I'm really excited for. Basically, there's this show I don't know if you remember me talking about ages ago. It's called The Last Kingdom. It's based on I think it's 8th century England. I think that's when the Vikings came over, but it's that sort of thing, and it's about Uhtred, son of Uhtred, but Lord of Bannenberg. Basically, it's coming back in the next few weeks, and I'm super excited. I'm watching through all of it again because that's what I like to do, especially with things I love like this. And oh my god, I've forgotten how so good it was. Oh, it's so good. It is the best TV show ever. But anyway, maybe not ever. It's like the BBC's version of Game of Thrones, if I'm honest. And I really love Game of Thrones, so you can probably tell how much I love The Last Kingdom. It's also based on a book series by a guy that I read, which is great. Haven't read the book series yet. I'm sort of starting with his first works, which is the Sharp series, blah, 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 blah. Bernard Cornwell was his name. Anyway, this week's question is, are you going to be watching The Last Kingdom? It is on BBC America. I think it might even be out on BBC America now. I don't know if you can watch it in certain countries where the Vikings actually came from. I know some people are from there. I don't know if you can watch it, but if you can, oh, it's so good. I highly recommend giving it a go. It's actually very true to, like, there is that show called Vikings as well, which sort of plays around with the history a little bit, but I think The Last Kingdom is actually more historically accurate than Vikings. It's very similar, but also very slightly different at the same time, but I can't tell. I'm not sure. I'm not 100% accurate with this, so take it with a grain of salt. Anyway, let's move on. This week's comment, we have got this week's comment. It's actually pointed out by Jorge that he wanted it last week. So it is this week. This is the one that he wanted. But it's not because of that. It's because I thought it was funny because it might be an ongoing thing. But this week's comment, if I can find it, goes to Max Ravage, who says, you know, we put the little asterisks where you correct someone on a text message where you spelled something wrong or something. And he's put Privy of Persia because the first episode of Prince of Persia: The Two Thrones was mistakenly called Privy of Persia because it was a mistake. And basically, it's just an ongoing joke. 3 episodes in, and it's been on every single one so far. It was commented on the first episode, in the second one it was mentioned, and then on the third one it was like this comment here. So that's why that is this week's comment, because I thought it was funny. It was like, touche, sir. Touche. Also, Jorge gets mentioned in this as well because he did join in with the conversation on the first episode. Cool then. So now we'll go on to this week's goals. My goal from the last podcast was to get 2.5 videos done by the end of this week, which has not happened yet. But obviously we're about just under halfway, and I'm already over halfway of this goal, so it's all going good. So what I was talking about earlier about the days getting it finished by, I'm thinking that next Thursday or Friday will be the day when it gets caught up. Judging from my list of plans of what to do, my plans say Wednesday, but I've put things to do on the Tuesday, but I can't do things on the Tuesday because I'm at college, so I'll have to push it forward onto the Thursday, maybe Friday, just to give it a little bit of a maybe then. But we'll see how that goes. I think I can do it. It looks doable, and I'm getting some stuff done. Also, I'm playing Skyrim, and I've just finished all the map locations, so now I can focus on the quests, and oh my god, I'm going to be finished it so soon, and I can't wait. Over the moon. Anyway, that is this video done then. So let's finish this cup of tea. I'm going to go back and watch The Last Kingdom after this. And play Skyrim. And the last podcast's what film was? It was Group Seatbelt On. It was Guardians of the Galaxy 2. It was a trailer that's from. And that is it for this podcast. So now I'll leave you with what film? Barbarian.